good evening, and welcome to the Real Hustler. Sorry we are running a bit late today. A load of technical issues, one after another, literally. But we have finally got the stream up and running. A bit later than I wanted, but hey, that's where we are at the moment. Put that down. So we should be running smoothly. We are streaming to a couple of new locations today. So welcome to those on Twitter, X. As soon as I said it, I realised, oops, I've just said the wrong thing. Yeah, welcome to those actually on X, formerly known as Twitter, and also welcome to those that are on Kick as well. These two channels are new, a new part of the multi-stream that we're now doing, and I just need to double check that second one is actually working, just because I've had so many issues trying to get this one to work, and I thought Twitch was bad, but this one is a little bit more painful, or has been. So I just want to make sure that it does actually work. Yeah, I think that one's probably still having problems, if I'm honest. We will get into the game just in a moment. I just need to troubleshoot this. If I don't troubleshoot this today, it's gonna be an ongoing issue. So just need to figure out why these things are such going. But we will go into the game while I wait. So at least we're making some progress. If you have any questions or anything, do let me know. I do have multi-chat up, so all the places we are streaming to today should all come into that one location. So if you've got any questions, anything like that, then do speak up and ask those questions. It's great to see you all on board. Hopefully I can try and resolve these final problems I'm having. Tell you what, Kick is weird as hell, because Kick is actually supposed to be streaming, but we're getting some weird things from it. I'm gonna try changing some settings. I wonder if like Kick, if anyone knows, does anyone know whether or not Kick has a refresh rate limit or something? Well, actually, its refresh rate will be 60 frames per second. Like all of them have like that as an upper limit. I'll just move the character around just so I don't get kicked from the game. What I do need to work out though is whether there's like a resolution limit. That is possibly. Right, okay. I think I know the issue now. It has a max resolution rate beyond what I'm trying to send to it. I wonder if I can change that somewhere. Oh, but you'd have to do like that. Oh, yeah, it's not good. Pick your pain in the butt. Might be able to cheat. I'm hoping. Could just. This is very much a dirty fix, but it's a fix. I wonder, actually, what's the... I'm going to go with this for now, just for today. That kick to kick, kick's going to have its own resolution. God knows why. Okay. Now that I know what the issues of kick, why it's literally kicking off and making my whole system kill itself. I think I've got it half working, so let's see whether or not it dies this time. Dune Awakening, start stream. Oh, we've got a working stream. Oh, no. That was too early to say. I had a working stream. It came up very temporarily like it did last time. Oh, actually, no. I think it's working. It is actually working. Oh my god. welcome to those that are on Kick. It's actually no one in that channel at the moment, but I just want to get a stream that's actually working to it. Now that I know what the actual issue is, Kick is a pain. No more of a pain than any of the others, if I'm honest, because they're all painful. Anyone wants to get to streaming, I'll tell you what. The amount of stuff that you have to go through to get it all working. And it can, you think you get things perfect. Well, not perfect, but in a working order. And something else comes along and just decides to not play a game as well. It's a lot of hard work. But I enjoy the challenge, so that's why I persist and will keep going at it. So, welcome to Dune Awakening. I apologies for the late start and also for troubleshooting live on what would be a normally gaming regular stream. I will try and edit the videos so that anyone watching the replay doesn't have to sit through all that other stuff. But thank you for those that have sat patiently while I troubleshooted that. So, with regards to where we are at, today we're obviously in the deep desert. I thought what we could do today is we could actually do anything any of you guys want to do. So if there is actually anything you guys want to see in Dune or have any questions about, do ask me. I love to answering those questions and provide any insights into Dune Awakening. It's a really cool game. The PvE side of it is really amazing. The PvP side of it, less so, but I suppose that's subjective to everyone's opinion. Most people do not like the PvP in Dune Awakening, at least because the game never encouraged it all the way through the game as you kind of leveled. And when you got to the final end game, as Funcom, who are the publishers of the game, came out, you know, it was just the PvP side of it was only ever pushed at the very end of the game. But because there was like nothing leading up to it, it kind of leaves the end game kind of like you scratching your head as to like really how they interpreted the end game to really be. Apart from obviously this is the deep desert and this is an out base, so it's not my main base. This is just a base that's in the deep desert. I have to take this down every week and I have to rebuild it every week, and this particular one, as it is an outpost, is bare basics, so it's just enough for me to be able to have some storage, be able to park any of my ornithopters, which are these things. This is a medium, there's a large and a small, and yeah, realistically this base is literally just here so that I've got some sort of place to come to that's got my stuff in it. And when I'm going out doing sand stuff, or if I'm going out to do any of the PvE parts of it, that being not just, I suppose, like to spice my sand harvesting is kind of PvE, but it has a PvP element to it in the sense that people will normally try and gank you or attack you whilst you're trying to farm, especially if you're out in the PvP areas, although there are a number of PvE areas that you can also farm, which will be a maximum up to the medium, but the large ones are only out in the PvP areas, so you'll most likely be attacked if you're out in those areas. Unlike if you're in the PvE areas, you can farm and no one else can attack you, and like you can't attack them either. But the actual main, what I really think of is that the PvE side of it is more to do with the narrative and storylines and things like testing stations. So we'll go off and do some testing stations today because it's a nice thing to go off and do. It also gives me some resources that I can sell on the player market, and that's kind of like how the main way I make money. You could make money selling spice sand, the spice melange, but I tend to like to play the PvE side of it with the testing stations. PvP side of it in this game is pretty dead, to be fair. Like I said, other than ganking people, there isn't really much in a way of being able to PvP. Like, there's not natural aggression other than if you were to attack someone doing a spice farm or something like that. Yeah, I don't know. To me, it's not the kind of best way the PvP is at the moment. There is hope that they will improve it as time goes on, but so far, a lot of the stuff that has been done within the game has concentrated more around the storyline and continuing the storyline, because the storyline hasn't finished, and while it kind of will continue to keep evolving as time goes on, because obviously they released the game not in a beta state but in a state that was releasable but at the same time not finished, and a game like this tends to not ever finish, at least not until the game just dies or something like that, mainly because they just want to keep the story going, and they see it as a sandbox. Like, personally, I don't see this game as a sandbox game. It has some elements to it that you could say that it's kind of sandbox-y, but not really. Like, for me, a sandbox game is true content created by players, and however the players play, that is the content. That's a true sandbox game, where this game has far too much narrative. It's too fixed in everything for it to be a sandbox game. But there are some elements that you could argue that push it towards like something that gives you some elements of what you would see in a sandbox game. But I think that's no different than any other kind of like strategy or survival game, in my opinion. But that's to everyone else's kind of like take on it, I guess. Just changing a profile over, because as usual, I've not changed one of my peripheral profiles. So when I was trying to getting the ornithopter, I was not being able to. I'm assuming I've got all my stuff on me. So if I haven't, oops. Yeah, we have. Very jittery today. There is a chance that it could be jittery because, well, up until today and really trying to get Kick to work, I had actually had all of the encoding for the video just on the CPU. But because I was having so many problems with Kick, I decided to try and see whether or not I could push the encoding for Kick onto the graphics card to see whether that would take away some of the issues, because effectively every time I tried to even start Kick up, it kept moaning that the encoder was overloaded, which doesn't make any sense because I haven't got Facebook running today, and Facebook uses more bitrate than what I've got set up for Kick. Plus the fact I also didn't have a number of other streams set up at that time either, and they were all kind of pretty much like kicking off saying, well, there isn't enough encoding, and the encoding for video is overloaded, which it wasn't, because I run a lot more bitrate, so there was obviously something wrong, and I kind of put two together that it was Kick that was causing it, but it just didn't make sense because it's just one application and it has got a maximum limit that's set that's way below all the thresholds of what this computer can handle. But now that I've put it on the graphics card for that stream, I'm noticing this is skipping a little bit. It's like whatever Kick is doing will cause for me to have to use it. It does appear to have caused a bit of a weird. Now and again, I see a kind of bit of lag, which I've never noticed ever before. So if you're seeing that on the stream, believe me, that's not just the stream. That's actually me as well experiencing that. We'll roll for sword. If you wonder why I've got a green sword, is because I've got a special ability that when I kill someone I get like 10 seconds of additional DPS while it's active. So when that green glow happens around the sword, that's just essentially saying you've got that bonus activated at the moment. One thing I do find with this is that you'll notice quite a lot of the enemies in here all have shields. So unless you kill them before the shield's up, and even that person, like, they must have their shield already on, because we'll switch to a sword. That did not go to plan. What the hell is someone else done? Don't take this guy out first. That one's got a shotgun, so I want to try and avoid that shotgun. At least someone has a shotgun, because that's a penetrating dart that took us down a minute ago. Tell you what, I'm not usually this bad. Believe it or not. Just having one of those days. As always. Don't know what it is this month. October's been like the worst month. The stream for everything got on. Where did that other guy go? Don't be trying to use your tricks on me. Where did that other guy go? Did they kill themselves? Oh no, there they are over there. Wow, I've made an absolute mission of that. Never mind, we got through it. Could have been worse. Could have died. So now we take. So you notice the whatever you want to call it, the AI told us that door was open. That's because when we go into that particular room or area, that area has a kind of what I call a airlock on it. So it means that when you enter the area and you aggro one of the NPCs in the area, what it does is it locks this door here and the door over there, effectively trapping you in this room until you take out all the enemies. So you've got to take all the enemies before you'll lose the airlock, as I would say. The easiest way I could describe it is that it's an airlock. Effectively, the airlock is active until when you enter it, once you aggro anything in this room. But you can enter the room, and as long as you don't aggro any of the NPCs, you'd be able to exit back out. But as soon as you aggro an NPC, that would go from green to red. There are some that will be automatically airlocked, so it will just not even require you to aggro the NPC. It will automatically just be red on the other side. You can kind of like peer through, like if you stand on the very edge of a door, kind of like here-ish, you can see the other side, so you'd be able to see if it's red. If you weren't too sure and you weren't too sure whether you wanted to go in the room straight away without knowing what was in it, that's one way you can actually just check to see whether or not it's airlocked. And also, if it's airlocked, it will obviously be green, and it will be likely to change when you go in there and you activate it. But there is the odd one where it doesn't airlock as well. So airlocks aren't guaranteed, but they are there. So you just need to be aware of, like, if there is an airlock, when you see an appender shield, there's a chance that it could turn red as soon as you aggro an NPC. There is a way of testing though that you can just fire through the pentashield at anything, because when you shoot through a pentashield, while it's green, it will still allow anything to go through it. As soon as the you aggro though, if you aggro and then obviously an NPC sees you, then it would turn to red. Now obviously if you've aggroed it and it stays green, then it means that it won't be an airlock, and you can effectively then know that you're pretty safe, that you can go in there, and if you want to come back out of that area. You also have to bear in mind as well that NPCs can, on most occasions, also exit outside one of those areas. But when it's also an airlocked area, you'll also find that NPCs won't be able to leave that area, so they're kind of locked into that area regardless to whether it's green or red. Although there is some, I wouldn't say exploits, but there are some ways that you can bring them out. One of those is through using the Bezodendrit. I can't even say the word. Bezodendrit. Yeah, there's a skill from the Bezodendrit. This skill, let's see in the middle HUD, where it's here, the one that says C there. If you use that one will actually kind of still someone in their location and prevent them from being able to attack you or anything, because you're kind of using mind control in some way, a bit like in the movie. But if you use Q, that particular one, that one pulls someone towards you when you do it. So you're still putting someone under control, but you're actually calling them to you. That one, if you use it whilst you're outside that, you can pull an NPC through the pentashield using that, even if the pentashield's red. I'm assuming it's a bit of an exploit, because it doesn't always work, but sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. It's a bit hit and miss. But if you are trying to take some of them out of the room so that you can make it a little bit easier, because I found, especially on the one that we're going to next, it can be a bit of a challenge when you're new to go into a room that's like full of NPCs, especially when you get a number of them that are melee damage, because they'll come up to you and they can kind of go through your shield and that type of stuff. So it's a bit harder when you've got a number of them all attacking you at once and you're having to try and take a couple of them out. So if you take a couple of them out first, it kind of just makes that a little bit easier, so you're not having to deal with some of the same amount of them in the same room. So yeah, that kind of skill just allows you to pull a couple of them out, and it just makes it easier when you actually do go in the room. There is also a few other things I've noticed which are also kind of exploity, but it's game mechanics. And that's one of the other ones, is because you can shoot through the pentashield. If you have one of the most powerful sniper guns, you can that also has the poison damage on it. You can fire through a headshot at any of the targets, and while the pentashield will go red and stop them being able to fire back at you after the first shot that goes through the pentashield, because the first one, obviously, it takes like it takes a bit of time for the NPC to be aggroed, enough that somehow this mechanic works in a way that normally their first shot at you will go through the pentashield, but after that no more shots will. Is also sort of how it works on the other way around as well, but it makes more sense when the shot goes through the first time for you to aggro the person. What doesn't make sense is if the person's aggroed you, then surely the pentashield would be live, but apparently not. So yeah, a bit weird, that mechanic. But again, I'm assuming that's not the way it's supposed to work, but it is the way that it works, or at least how it currently works. Like, they could obviously fix that or change that in the future, but as the current mechanics are, yeah, it's a bit kind of weird that. There is like one person here normally. The things that I'm after while I'm in here is this thing now that's shown. They are thermal electric coolers, and they sell really nicely on the player market. You can buy them from an NPC, but they sell for 6,000 per unit, which is expensive, but players will do because you need them to make tier 5 and tier 6 things. As you can tell, the melee ones are pretty annoying, especially when they dodge things. Guy's dead. Should be one more in here. At least one more. Like, maybe there isn't. Pretty sure there was though. Oh, there is. Thought there was another one. I never pick up any of that stuff. There was a little bit of a time where I did.
Reveal yourself.
And the time when I did was when you could repair stuff back to brand new. There was a method that you could repair stuff. All I will say now is that was an exploit, a very well-known exploit that all players used, that knew about it at least. And yeah, they fixed that, so you can't do that anymore. We'll need to go up and around. There's some bombs here, but we'll just blast them and blast them. This is one of those ones where this isn't an airlock. The pentashield wristband that I got before is what allows me to come through here. That's one thing I would say, is actually most you'll find that you can go through without a wristband. You'll find won't airlock you. Apart from the one that we're going to go into in a minute, because that one's actually a boss room. There's another swordie. you cheat in this game. The NPCs. It's like they dodge it and then they start attacking me. Like, no, you can't dodge it like a heavy shot. Like that. It's like dodging a heavy shot. And I really hate how like stamina regenerates in this. It's just like so annoying. Anyway, head down. On to the next. Yeah, we need to get this wristband. So that wristband allows us into that final room. These are intel things I'm picking up. So you can usually pick them up in all of the kind of testing stations in Deep Desert. They just give you intel on a local area and give you main points of reference for like certain things that will be of interest to you. If you're wondering why also I'm not picking up any stuff in those big ones, is because, well, a lot of it's junk, and I don't need all the other stuff either, which is crafting material stuff. Oh, they see me straight away. Let's see if we can. See, we can tell if we can use it, because this is red. What will happen though is when we're not aggroed, we'll be able to actually select them and pull them through. See if I can get it to work. If we come back here, we should be able to reset it. We'll lose aggro. Usually takes about a couple minutes or so. Whilst that happens, I might just those people on Kick. I'm just changing it so you can see the full screen, because I am aware that currently, because I rushed your part up a bit just to try and get it working. I didn't change you to a resolution that still works, that allows you to see the full screen. I need to do a little bit more research, I think, to find out whether or not I can hasn't reset yet. Normally does. Just stay back here a little bit longer. What we're waiting for is to hear that message that we had before to say unlocked. That's it. Access granted. So just need to see if we can catch someone the right way. What I'm effectively wanting to do is I want someone that's relatively close but isn't looking towards the penalty shield, because if they're looking towards the penalty shield they'll spot us like that last one. Kind of like wanting them facing the other way. Oh yes, it worked. Oh, I captured them. Did they come through? No. See, that you can tell whether it works or not is because they'll actually do what they just did there, and they'll come through or they won't come through. The good news I've got with this at the moment is I've not seen anyone with melee damage in there, and that's normally why this room used to be so hard. It's because there used to be like these 4 people that we can see now, so like that person is trying to do some melee damage, although they can't because of the penalty shield. And they also used to be 2 people with swords or daggers, but it looks like we've just got people with guns, which is a lot easier. to deal with. So we'll go there in a second. And what I was on about before as well, when it's locked, you can normally poke through, although it looks like they've fixed that as well. So you used to be able to go like that and be able to look on the other side, but it looks like they've changed it. So you can't, now it looks like when you'd go through like that, you would have seen like you'd seen before, but now it's looks like they've changed it so that they have made this, they've probably fixed the things that were wrong with this Pento Shield that were wrong before. So what we'll do is we'll run in. Oh, Christ's sakes. Oh my god, I can't believe I just died. Look, I ran out of stamina. What have we got? Vehicle respawn. Go back to vehicle respawn. What all that does is, you notice, see all this? It causes damage to my lovely armor. Oh, that is so annoying. We shouldn't have died then. But we did. Don't say it's all reset. Let's go and get the first thing. So let's get this armband, get the other armband. Looks like they've fixed that as well. Because that didn't used to reset after if you had died and you were pushed back in, it wouldn't reset. Looks like they've changed it. It's not a big issue in this one, but that would be more of an issue in some of the other kind of instances where the root places are much, much bigger. These don't actually have that much, and that's why this is actually really much easier at the moment, this area, because of how they've got this set up. Where's all the people with guns? They're all hiding. Shield on, which is why I'm taking damage so much. One of those days. Oh. That's not good. Like, I'm making this look way harder than it actually is. As I did it before. I am a bit out of practice, but not that hard. I call them the Gatling guns because that's what they are. Kind of like, they remind me of Gatling guns. But... who have I got left now? I've got 2 Gatling guns, yeah? One's there, one's there. So you come to me. Just want to stay on the stage, that guy, doesn't he? Let's see if we can go and get the other one. Once we get the other one out of the way, then it should be easier. Okay, that's that one down. Where's the other one? Did it actually disappear?
Get that. Empty.
Anyway, access granted. We've sorted it, got the things out. This room's like I've shown it, is a little bit tricky, even with no melees in the room. But there used to be melees in the room with all of those that are currently in there now as well. So you can imagine it's quite a lot harder because the melees are awkward anyway. They like to kind of almost ignore your attack and also ignore your defense. Pretty much ignore you generally, other than wanting to kill you. And it can be a bit painful, but it looks like at least this week, and they do rotate who's in this room, it does look like they have made it a little bit easier. So we've got everything from this room now. We'll go off to the next testing station. So this is 2 out of 6 that are in the main PvE area, what I call the on the wall. I'm also going to do a little trick because I'd normally do this in a scout ornithopter. I'd normally do this in a scout ornithopter, but because I'm not in a scout ornithopter, and I don't want to have to waste tons of fuel getting over to the next sections. I'm going to come out of the DD to skip over. It just saves time. Like, I do it to normally save time if there's a scout on a copter, but in this it's going to save me fuel, because if I don't, I'm just going to have to use up more fuel than I need to go like fly across there, where if I go this way I can kind of cut all of that out. So I would have come out, even though I look like I've came out there, I have actually come out of this area. So what I do now is we go to this part and then we'll skip into the next section. And this allows us to skip having to fly across some of the desert and whatever to get into the next section. It's also a lot faster. So our first place to go to, I think it's just over here. I can't remember because I very rarely do what I've just done now and skip through the areas. I normally just fly through, but then like I said, I normally do this in a scout quadricopter, so I'm not having to worry about using fuel to fly around. I think it's just here. Yeah. It is. I'm going to drop some stuff in here because this does all weigh. So if I can get rid of some of it, just less stuff to carry, and leaves us more room in case there's stuff down there that I want to pick up. I might pick up batteries in this one because I think, if I remember rightly, this one does have batteries and stuff in it. These things, oh, they're the worst in the sense of like, you get them so easy in these testing stations, far too easy. You bet they're actually a crafting resource in the game. So in order to create and make kind of tier 5 and tier 6 items, you need those items to make those items. However, you don't rarely use that many. Like, as many as we've already got, it's probably as many as you need to make a full set of armor. That's just how little they're actually used. So it's kind of annoying how much you get them. You can sell them to NPCs, which is what I've started to do, and why I do collect them now, but they are painful in the sense they just take up so much room in your inventory. So you have to kind of offload them regularly, else you'll run out of room pretty fast. Hi. Yeah, there is no... Oh, that's why. I was going to say, no thermal coolers. I was like, oh, that's because I didn't open the right chests. Oh yeah, and you'll notice I call them chests. I'm not sure if that's the right way of terming it in this game, if I'm honest, but I call them chests, even though it's not like some games like Age of Conan or one of those games where they are looking like actual chests. Loot boxes, loot, whatever you want to call them, they are where we get our goods from. Those ones, like, while you can kind of can shoot at them, they take a lot of shoot damage in order to be able to affect them. So you're best just taking these out with like your melee weapons, just because you'll be there for a long time if you try and take them out any other way. These ones though, these ones, if you've got a powerful gun, generally 2 shots. Normally with something like a sniper rifle or a shotgun. So anything with basically that's got heavy darts. So if you notice, like when I go to one of the ammo crates like these, there's the dark and there's the light ones. Now the dark ones I pick up because they're heavy darts, but the other ones are light darts. Now those aren't very effective against anyone with shields, so you kind of need heavy darts, which are most effective unless you have like something that's like anti-shield. So you get slow darts, but you need like a gun that's like a spit raid that has the ability to slow itself down when it hits the shield. A bit like when you watch the movie in Dune where you see Paul Atreides, or one of the characters, I can't remember if it's Paul Atreides, but one of them that use a gun, but it has a slow dart in it. It hits there, but then it slows right down and it slowly penetrates through the shield. That's kind of a gun that you can get in this game. And they're like shotguns, those types of weapons. Just realised my shield's not on. Something I still haven't got used to in this game. They've changed the mechanics to how it kind of works. Previously, if you got out of an helicopter, if you had your shield previously on, it would automatically turn on. I keep forgetting about that mechanic. So when I get out, and because I've always thought my shield is on, I just automatically go into these places and not think about putting shield on, because I just think, oh, I've not turned it off. But because I got a new helicopter, that disables it, so it means that I have to re-enable and turn the shield back on. It's a mechanic I actually really like, because I often used to forget to turn my shield off before getting in an helicopter when I used to do spice mining, and there's a high aggro on this shield, so when you've got it active, it aggravates a worm and it virtually almost straight away call the worm if you don't realise your shield's on. I used to do it at first, wondering why the worm seemed to aggro me every time I hit the floor, but then I realised it was because my shield was activating itself, and that's because I was leaving it on before I got in the actual ornithopter. So it's actually a mechanic I like, because it actually helped me with an issue that I had. If you notice what I just did then is I have the ability as well to, another Bethesda skill, is I have the ability to dodge a dart, but I have to dodge in order to do that. So when I do that, that's a dodge. As long as I activate that as the dart's trying to come through, I have a good chance of basically the dart passing through me through my Bene Gesserit skill. Can't even say that word today, I don't know why. Bene Gesserit, yeah, don't know. It's a tongue twister today. I can normally say it. And my music's turned off as well. One thing after another. Turn it back on. There we go. Music's back on. So, we've got that chest. So I didn't get this chest up here. So all these small chests I'm interested in. I'm not really interested in the large, like, loot chests, even though I'll obviously loot them, but they'll give you blueprints and stuff. So this one is your main chest. This is one that will have the main drop for this area, and this will have the sub drop. So you'll always get the blueprint in the main one, but you can sometimes get good items in the secondary one as well. I'm feels like ages since I've done this, and I've only probably done it twice since I've come back from having a break from the game. So it's, yeah, I feel it's a bit like, is this the right way to go? Even though I've done it like a million times before that. You're also these are, I call these save spikes, but effectively these as well, they've changed the mechanics for them. So you used to be able to place them anywhere pretty much within the actual testing station, but they changed the mechanic now, and you can no longer actually put those save spikes in a testing station. You can only put them on the outside. When the game first started, it used to be quite funny because you used to see tons of those save spikes outside of the actual testing stations, especially in the Haggard Basin. I haven't seen them that often anymore. That's mainly because like the player base has died. But even if you take that into account as well, like most people are pretty confident they're going through areas where you're not likely to die. And when you're in your vehicle anyway, you have a save location that happens when you get out your vehicle. You have the chance to save your location as a spawn point, so you're better just doing that anyway than using those save spikes. I don't actually know now really what those save spikes are that useful for. I suppose there can be some situations where you could use them, where if you obviously fighting in PvP or something like that, and you wanted to hold an area, then you could hide one of those save spikes somewhere so that you could quickly spawn back to where the fight's going off. Have I gone past the door? I think I have. But other than that, like, I can't really think of that many things now where it would be that useful, because it seems like the one real use it had was for this, like, saving your kind of location in a kind of testing station, so you could take a couple of them, and while you couldn't place them everywhere in the testing station, most places you could. So if you were in a very big testing station and you'd already gone through so many airlocks, you could place it like just before you go into the next airlock, so that if you died, you didn't have to come all the way from the very start. You could just restart from that location. That was a really good thing, but yeah, that's obviously now been taken away because they don't let you put those save spikes in any of the testing station now. So yeah, but you'd normally used to see them up here as well, so you'd see like loads of save spikes all at the top, as well as in certain places like those airlocks. Why does my music keep going off? Really annoying. This time it'll go through the whole playlist. I'm getting stuck at one song and it's not skipping past it. Annoying. Okay, this is where I think we can get the batteries from. How much space have I got? Oh, I've got enough. Not using that much. So, got our thermal coolers there. You can get some batteries if we want to do that, but there actually are these little areas like just over here now. It's a container where you can get batteries out of specifically, and also the small vehicle fuel cells, which you can make yourself, but obviously useful if you like. There you can make them pre-made, have them pre-made. That looked like a dart person. And the reason why I say that is because the ones that load their gun like a double lock shotgun type, they are generally normally the dart type of NPCs. This occasion it wasn't, but at least they weren't firing any darts. There's a knifey there, so we'll let them come at us in a sec. Just take them around the corner so that we don't have to deal with the person with the sword at the same time. God, this guy is annoying me. What I call the cheating NPC that decides that he's going to block, even though he shouldn't be able to block. I'm just realise that. Dodge that. You MFA. Where's that other guy gone? I'm behind ya. I don't normally get batteries if I'm honest when I come here, but because I haven't got my main base out here at the moment, I can't make batteries as easy, and I also don't have my buggy out here as well. If I have my buggy out here, I can literally just mine one of those battery like square blocks, and it gives me like it gives me 800 units per one, so I only have to go to like 3 or 4 of them and I get more than what I need for the deep desert in just 3 hits, where with what I've currently got with me, I've only got like the bare basics beginner kind of cut-in array, and that's purely because the only cut-in array I've got with me is the one that just allows me to open up doors, because I can't be bothered taking around a Mark 5 or Mark 6 one when they cost a lot of money to make. And if you're just opening up doors, you're wasting usage and kind of like just generally usage, because every time you use something it causes damage to it. So effectively every time I would open the door or anything else I'm using the code array for, it's kind of like not really benefiting from it. So I thought I'd use a low level one. And also because it's also easier, especially when you're in a deep desert. Because in a deep desert you need to like be able to do quite a few different things, like opening up crash ships and all that type of things. And some of those are like really awkward to do it from. Now the more powerful Mark 5 and Mark 6 ones aren't handheld. They're more like big giant Gatling guns, like this guy's who's chasing us now. So you can't really direct that as easy as you can do with one that's more like, I don't know, something like Star Trek, where you've just got the light, the phaser. So I kind of take the Mark 1 one because it is handheld and it's a lot easier to kind of like just generally use. And obviously those ones as well, it costs like nothing to make pretty much. It's like a couple pieces of like scrap. There's other people down here, but can't see them. There's one there. Oh, why did he change direction just as I do it? See it? I dodged. I dodged there for that dart more than I was dodging for him. I was like, he was doing a power move, but I wasn't too bothered about that. I was more bothered about the
Got you.
Oh my god, this fucking thing. Hear me off. I need my stamina to regen because my abilities are also tied to my stamina.
Tossing grenade.
Need to reload.
You go away. Roger.
Target found.
Watch that. Although it normally does. Annoyingly. Not worth picking up. Okay. Well, I think we should just go everything now because I think somehow we managed to aggro everything here. It might be one in the other room, but not that many. I never used to pick up heavy darts either. Normally, like picking up all these in the PV areas, you end up with too many. But I've found since I've got another gun that's like a bit more thirsty, I guess, than other guns, I do now need to pick them up. Normally, when I'm in PV areas, or I'll just end up having to make them, which I do that as well. But what do I have that I don't need? Probably have tons of stuff I don't need, like this. No point keeping that because that's damaged. That's damaged. Don't need that. It's damaged. Damaged in a sense, like a while back, I might have kept it just because I could fully repair it, but now you can't repair it, so it's just like pointless. Okay, what have we got in here? Because I've probably got so many batteries. Yeah. I don't need that. All I really need is that. We'll get rid of them. Make them. What? Ugh. So I'll just X them then. Used to be able to. Why is it not taking it? Take. I'm gonna pick up with whatever I've got remaining space. Yep. Okay, nothing in there. Skip that. Should have enough batteries now to last my outpost base for the rest of the week. When I bought some batteries out with me, I only bought enough to last a few days. So with what we've got on us now, that should tie us over until the next reset. So these Deep Desert resets every Tuesday at 12 o'clock GMT or thereabouts. 11 o'clock 12. Actually, it might be 11 o'clock GMT. Yeah, and when that happens, effectively anything you've built in the Deep Desert will be wiped. So that's why we take our bases down once a week. Normally on a, like I do mine on a Monday evening, but some people do it on the actual day of the wipe. So they'll come in really early in the morning, or they might do it on the Sunday. Effectively, they'll do it at some point, unless they want to lose all their stuff. Because effectively, if you don't do it, you'll just lose your stuff. I would really love it if they had a button here that says send all, but you can only take all, which means it'll take everything. But there's no way of having a button over this side that says send everything. You can auto drop things in here that are already in here, but I don't think I've got batteries in here, and that's what's taking up most of my rate. So can come away like that and then just press quick deposit, and that'll deposit all items that we've got on us that are of the same thing. So I think that is it now. So what we'll do is we'll fly back out again, save us having to fly over the desert. We'll see how dead the player base is, because the next testing stations we are going to used to always be empty, in the sense of like no NPCs in there. I should say not empty, cleared, and that's because the two testing stations we're going to now, they both drop a blueprint that all the players wanted, which is to do with the compactor. I call it the sand wand, but effectively it's what you mine or harvest spice sand with, and it essentially has a very low worm aggro but a very good harvesting rate, and that's why players really want it. So these two testing stations drop that blueprint, and you can only get it from these two testing stations. But effectively, I've got a feeling that's actually where is the testing station? I think now I've come through, it might be further back here. I think it's further back. You know what? It'd be faster to go to that one. We'll go to that testing station over there, only because the other testing station's back there, and we're already in this direction, so we may as well go to this testing station first, because we'll just be doubling back again. But this is testing station 1. The other testing station is behind us. It's testing station 2, and we've obviously gone in the reverse order only because I have my base on the other side, not on this side. So this one is probably arguably one of the easiest ones to do. I used to say it's the easiest one to do, but I actually think this one is a little bit harder than maybe one or two of the other ones. But it's certainly not the hardest. The hardest is the second one we actually visited, which is in the same area. It's actually the closest one to my base. The hardest one. Checking to make sure we do actually have room and inventory so that I can actually pick things up. So, how full is it? I would say it. Oh yeah, it's definitely. It's got like a sword guy here and everything. Oh, daggery. Normally, if this is being run through, you wouldn't expect to see that many people here. Like no one on the stairs and stuff. These would all be or just be empty, and these boxes normally look lifted like this, even though they won't have a green thing on. Well, they will have a green thing on, but they'll look lifted already. So this area is clearly not being run. which doesn't surprise me. Like I said, from everything I've seen so far, the player base in this game, especially on my server, is virtually non-existent. There you go. You just died. Yeah. Expected him like to start attacking me. Really good skill to have, that bed in the desert skill, especially with these guys with the slow darts. This side, even when the servers were busy and these areas were constantly farmed, this side would always be not farmed anyway, and very rarely did you see it kind of cleared, and that's just because you don't actually need to come to this side in order to get to the boss area where you can get the blueprints. So you'd normally find that a lot of people wouldn't bother because it's just like extra time to do it. Where did the sword person come from? Like, they went there a minute.
I got you. Found you.
They're so annoying. It's more annoying than the fact they just dodge the defense that you put up, or they'll ignore the Bene Gesserit skill. See, I said it right that time. I can't say it. I don't want to say it. I hate when you have a word that you know you can say, but you just for whatever reason it just comes out wrong the first time. From that point onwards, it's just stuck in your mind wrong. Okay, on to the next side. So the next side that we're going to go to, this side over here, will be effectively the area that would normally be empty and cleared because players are constantly running it. A lot of dark in this one. A lot of players also miss this little room, but there's also a chest in here, and if you're actually doing what I'm doing and going after the thermal coolers, that's 3 thermal coolers that you would have missed not going into that area. So always remember to check every little nuts and corners, because in here they do tend to like put chests in areas that players don't always necessarily go to. So this is a wristband that we need to get into the boss room, This boss room doesn't lock, so there is no, or at least it never used to. I haven't actually done it, I don't think, since they've made the patch change, so there's a chance they may have changed it, but they never used to have a lock on it. It's not a very hard room though, so it doesn't make much difference if they have put a lock on it. The one thing that the wristband does though is lets you in. Without the wristband you wouldn't be able to get in. So we've already aggroed someone and you can see it still said stay green, so that's the sign that we know that there's still no airlock on it. You didn't dodge it for once, or ignore it. It's a change.
Throwing grenade. Reload. Need to reload.
That one actually hit me. But that's okay. Like I said, it's a chance. And I'd say like it's probably lower than this in realistic terms, but it feels like it's like a 75% chance that you'll dodge it.
Enemy sighted!
Oh no, you don't. He's just about to like do his knockback skill. Quickly get that attacking finished before he did it. I don't think, what blueprint did we get? Yeah, so in this one we did, I think we probably got this one. If we didn't, we got one of the other ones, but I think it's actually that one we got from that box without looking at the replay of the video. But yeah, this particular one here, you have a chance of getting the sand wand, as I refer to it as the sand compactor is its real name. And yeah, that's what effectively players used to like run this one for, and the other one we'll go to in a moment. There's no more boxes, I don't think, in here. Got them all. There is sometimes a box there in that corner, but looks like there isn't today. Oh, there is actually, there is. They've moved it. I always double check these things because I tell you what, the amount of times I've almost mixed boxes because I've not fully scouted the area out, just gone to exactly where it should be, and sometimes I totally forget, if I'm honest, as well. Remembering where they all are. Go to the final testing station and then we'll be done, and then we'll be ending the stream at that point. I know I started the stream late, but I do actually have other things I need to do this evening, so we will be calling it as soon as we finish that final testing station. Although to be fair, we didn't start till just after past, or at least got online at past. We didn't start the gaming until later, but the stream started at past or thereabouts, and by the time we do this final testing station, we'll be not far out before that. I think should only take us about 10 minutes probably to that final one. There's the final one there. Testing station 185, although everyone refers to it as testing station number 2, and that's because in order of like each of the actual squares in this area. So if you look on the map, this is A, and all of these have got like you can see it there, there's a line, grids essentially. So this is in grid 1, this is grid 2. Now effectively that's A, B, C, D, and that goes on and such. The testing station, why everyone refers to testing station 1 and 2 is because, well, A, and it's in testing station, it's in section A or B, I think it's in A, and this one's in section B, so everyone just refers to it as testing station 1, 2, 3, and that's why this one's seen as like the start in some ways. So some people refer to it different ways, but normally if you hear people referring to it as testing station 1 and 2 in the deep desert, that's what they're referring to when you look at the big map. Oh, actually, thinking about it, the grid on the map. Oh yeah, so grid on the map. Actually, I tell a lie. It is 1, 2, 3 along the actual left to right on the horizontal axis, but on the y-axis, it's A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. I think is the furthest, or maybe F. Yeah, you can tell this place definitely hasn't been touched. That room is... I very rarely see anything come out of this room. It's really shocking to see things. I'm here, boy. You try your stuff, are you? I don't think he can come out that way. He's empty. Oh, yeah, he can. I must have just realised I didn't have my shield on. Keep forgetting to put that shield on. Keep losing health that I shouldn't be losing. And as you can tell, while I'm in the deep desert, I will always be picking up any water supplies that become available, just because it saves me using my water jar that I carry around with me, like thermal flask type thing. So actually at the moment, unless I have my main base out here, I'm not creating any water when I'm in the deep desert, so it's just helpful to keep myself topped up with anything that's around me. And then using my own water carrier in between that. Like obviously when I'm in the deep desert spice mining, you won't have any opportunity to. I'm sure there's like normally someone down here. Maybe they're dead. Maybe they're not around. Okay, so that penalty shield thing that we got allows us to go through there. If we didn't have that penalty shield, we're about to come through here. there will be full NPCs down here. You can see one in there. Come to me, boy.
Getting overwhelmed. What is house hunting?
That's so annoying. Fuck me. Why is my shield not up? It was up a minute ago. And all of a sudden it went down. What do I have? So it's a small repair. The shield can go down if obviously all the energy is taken off it, but it shouldn't have been down. I don't know why it went down. Here. So they can't attack while the other side depends on shield. However, normally you can pull through one that's not airlocked, but that one's not letting me. What you can do though is you can use AoE and his desert skill through this. Well, you used to be able to, not anymore. Oh my god, it's cheating again. How many times? You want to cheat as well? NPCs. There's only like 2 of them down here. Two annoying ones, that's what they are. I've got everything. Chest done, yeah. Oh, there's a chest there. All this merges in with everyone else that's there that's just literally just props. Just the only ones in the end, but I want this one. So that's got our thermal coolers in. And then on the other side, and then once we've done that, that's it. There will be people down here. This isn't obviously unlocked as well, as you can tell. Pull them out. I think that is it. Like, this is normally empty, so I can't remember how many people are in here. I don't think I've actually ever done it with actually anyone in here. Or I might have done it once. A long time ago. A very long time ago. We didn't get one in here either. We got a double still suit. Well, it's a tent essentially, so you can put a tent down when a storm hits and basically survive inside the tent without taking any damage from the storm. That's what they're designed for. I've not actually seen anyone use them apart from I seen a streamer watch use them as a demonstration, but other than that I've not seen one player use them, and I've never used it either, if I'm honest. I I got in it just to see what it's like, but yeah, other than that, I've not actually purposefully used it properly for what it's actually used for or meant for. Like one of those things that you get in a game that's just like, yeah, serves real no purpose. Do you know what? I thought that was an enemy, then I just realised it's not. They're wearing a Sudoku armor set, but it looks very similar to enemies you get, just not enemies around here, which just knocked me back because I thought that was actually someone, just an NPC, but it's not. It's another player. Rarely. They're probably running this thinking, wow, it's empty. Because they're not used to it being empty. Or being cleared. I keep saying it's empty. Cleared. Okay. So I'm going to look to end the stream now. I'm just going to go to where I was going to go to anyway. Because I want to get out of here. Onto the world map, and then we will look to end the stream. So I hope you've enjoyed the content. As I said, I do apologise for the late running of today's stream. However, I did really want to troubleshoot some of the issues that I've been facing, and that's mainly because you can't troubleshoot if actually out going live. So it's kind of like hard to troubleshoot and not actually just be online anyway doing a stream. So that's kind of like why I wanted to spend some time just troubleshooting it, because if I don't do it, then I'm just going to disturb you all and notify you all when you think I'm going live when I'm not, because there's no way of testing all of this without actually just being in the stream as such. So appreciate your time. If you do love the content, then do consider following or subscribing depending on what platform you're on, and that will be it for this evening. Thank you very much and good evening.